All right, guys, let's go.
We just heard from the
5 minutes
S&D and
till
NLM
launch.
that the spacecraft is verified on internal power.
Super heavy,
and
baby.
Things are looking good for the Europa Clipper spacecraft.
Go NASA.
We're also listening to the launch teams
Just
as
under
they
5 minutes till launch. Let's go.
discuss the data coming in that they're looking at for the rocket.
The teams continue to follow the procedure, as I said, and work the loading of propellant, finishing up the topping of the 3 boosters and the second stage. As we mentioned earlier, the 3 boosters are expendable fully. They will not be coming back for landing today. SpaceX is getting the team ready to launch this vehicle today.
What?
And you just heard the call out that the strong back is retracting.
I guess we're not going to recover any of this. Man. I thought we were going to see some Falcon 9s come back.
That strong back appears to have retracted. So we're getting some discussion on the nets regarding the second stage.
NY LOX load is complete.
As we just got completion of LOX load for the Y booster. We're looking for now the center core and the plus Y.
NLM, it's the LD on the countdown net with a final status check.
Yes, LD, this is NLM on countdown 1, NASA spacecraft, and the NASA team is go for launch pending resolution of the anomaly.
Copy, go pending outbrief of the issue being discussed on the anomaly net.
Affirmative.
Okay, Tim, so they've mentioned that they're working an anomaly. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, they're monitoring some temperatures on the second stage, and things are the teams continue to look at that as they continue filling second stage with liquid oxygen. They're continuing to look at that and monitor
Center
that
core, LOX load
as
is
far
complete.
as they can into the count. So things are continuing to progress forward with LOX load. Center core is just finished up, so all 3 boosters are filled with LOX and RP1. The second stage has RP1 on, and we're getting near completion of stage 2 LOX load as the team continues to look at that temperature in the second stage. But we did hear NASA Launch Manager Tim Dunn tell Charlie Myers,
Stage 2
SpaceX
LOX
Launch
load is
Director,
complete.
that they are go for launch pending the resolution of this temperature issue. So the team has continued to work that, and the team will continue to progress forward in the procedure.
And so these
if I remember
discussions
correctly,
are happening very quickly as we are
40
counting down now inside the final 2 minutes until liftoff.
Is when
absolutely, and we just heard that stage 2
when they'll have a chance to pause the clock if they need
to. And the team is working that, and as you said, this is what they do in the last few moments before launch. They're working their procedures, following their processes, and having these discussions. But we are still progressing forward towards a T0 of 12:06. And things are progressing forward for the launch this morning.
Ground gas closeouts.
We are now 90 seconds until liftoff.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go, Europa.
Weather is 95% go. These boosters on the outside, they have flown before the Psyche mission a little more than a year ago. They are back on the pad along with a brand new center core booster and a spacecraft bound for the Jupiter moon Europa.
Yeah, Daryl, I can confirm,
Falcon
listening to
Heavy
the
is
teams,
in
that
startup.
everybody is go for launch. They have resolved the temperature issue they were looking at on second stage. Everybody's given the go for that, and Falcon is in startup, so the flight computer has taken over, and we're getting ready for the
SpaceX Launch Director is go for launch.
And there we hear Charlie Myers say that SpaceX is ready for launch, and Europa Clipper getting ready to lift off.
There you go.
There's a great update as now it vents out the LOX inside the line of the transporter erector. We're inside of 30 seconds.
30 seconds and counting.
Whoa, guys. Let's go. That's an expensive piece of equipment in there.
You have 15 seconds and counting.
And here we go. 10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff.
Yeah.
Falcon Heavy with Europa Clipper, unveiling the mysteries of an enormous ocean lurking beneath the icy crust of Jupiter's moon, Europa.
Whoa.
Engine chamber pressure.
Oh my gosh.
See that the chamber pressures are almost here.
Oh my goodness.
These look great.
Rocket beginning to roll, putting down 5.1 billion pounds of thrust.
Biggest rocket.
Coming up, we're going to back off those engines just a bit.
Okay.
So get ready to head into max
Power and
Q.
telemetry nominal.
We hear that power telemetry on the
So
vehicle
far,
is
so
good there.
good.
Everything's
Nominal.
looking really
Falcon
well.
Heavy is
Perfect.
supersonic.
They have reduced power in the center core to get through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure on the launch vehicle as we approach that. The two side boosters at full throttle.
Wow.
A beautiful shot there is our camera team.
Max Q.
Locking into the rocket on a clear blue sky. The view from the booster cam
Oh my
back down on
goodness.
Earth.
And there we heard the call for max Q. The vehicle
Wow.
is passing through maximum dynamic pressure. Next thing up in
What a
about
view.
2 minutes will be booster engine cutoff,
Beautiful.
where we see the two side booster engines, all 18, shut down and get ready for booster separation. But the vehicle is performing very well. Looking at all the telemetry that we have, power and trajectory are nominal.
We've been flying for just under 2 minutes so far. Everything looking good. These side boosters, once they do their job, they will be expended. If you're familiar with the Falcon Heavy, you know that they bring the boosters back on certain launches, but not on this
Beautiful.
one, because all of the performance is needed to push Europa Clipper into its proper
Starlink.
orbit.
That's why they can get such beautiful shots
Things
now.
continue to look good as the vehicle heads down its ascent phase here. All telemetry is looking very nominal for this flight this morning. Falcon Heavy is performing very well.
Now we're just about 30 seconds away from separating those side boosters. Their engines will cut off first, then they will separate.
MVAC is chilling.
Starting to chill down that MVAC-D engine in the second stage.
And that's where we need to get the engine chilled to the proper temperatures before flowing liquid oxygen and RP1 into it. So they're conditioning the engine to make sure things are
That would be
ready
so cool
for
if
when
they
it's
would've
ready to
salvaged
start up.
The two
Stand
side
by for
boosters.
booster separation.
They said they weren't.
Booster engine cutoff. Side booster separation confirmed.
Whoa.
There they go.
Oh my God.
Those two
That's
boosters
so
previously flown on
sick.
Psyche. This will be their 6th flight. We thank you for their service this morning. They did a great job of getting Falcon Heavy and Europa Clipper on its way as the center core takes over and continues mission down its ascent. Things are looking really good in the telemetry. Power and trajectory look nominal, and chamber pressures on the 9 center core engines look really good.
In just a little more than 20 seconds
Beautiful.
from now, we'll get the cutoff of the main engine on the center core booster that remains. 4 seconds after that, we will separate. Flying out over the Atlantic Ocean,
Oh my God.
there's a look from inside.
There we
Vigo.
see
Camera
stage
be
1
sick, I see.
Stage
shutdown
separation confirmed.
and stage separation from the center core. Getting ready for MVAC
Whoa.
startup, SES-1.
We're getting some applause here in the Mission Directors Center, and there you see the MVAC-D engine lighting up.
Vacuum engine, baby.
Next thing up in about 10
Wow,
seconds
welcome
will
to
be
the
fairing.
future.
NYPY FTS has saved.
And the fairing has protected Europa Clipper on its ascent up into space, but once we get into space, we don't need that fairing anymore.
There they go.
Whoa. All
Fairing
right.
is separated, and those will be recovered, Daryl, by SpaceX's
What?
own recovery
Okay.
ship, Go Cosmos.
And there you see them falling away into space. That is the only part of this rocket that will be recovered.
That's what I was saying. At least they're going to get
The
that.
glow of the MVAC-D engine as it performs its first burn here. This is about a 3-minute and 47-second burn. Things are looking great. Matter of fact, this is one of the shortest first burns that has been done on a Falcon Heavy by SpaceX, but it is required to get us into that parking orbit for that long coast that we have to get ready for the interplanetary trajectory that we're going to need to get Europa Clipper on its way that we heard Jenny talk about to get those Earth assist slingshots as it heads on its way for its mission. So things looking really good this morning with the performance of the Falcon Heavy. MVAC is performing well, and everything looks good thus far in today's mission.
Usually those burns are the other way around, with a longer first burn and the shorter second burn, but in this case it is reversed. As we look at some crystal clear views of the MVAC-D engine, the Stage 2 that's carrying Europa Clipper, orbital light is shining both on the spacecraft, the second stage, and on planet Earth.
Center core FPS has saved.
There we've heard that the flight termination system on the center core has been saved as it heads back to splash down. Things are looking good. I can tell you, Daryl, we had a beautiful weather day for launch, and as we're looking at MVAC flying in space with Europa Clipper, it is such a gorgeous view with Earth behind it, and so we could not have had a better day for a mission launch today.
No doubt about it, Mick. It was simply gorgeous. We had a hurricane a week ago, but after that pushed out, it brought us in its wake near perfect weather for launch. And now we're into space, dealing with the harsh conditions up there.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 2 has made its way into space far enough away for us to be able to safe the flight termination system from a safety perspective. We're about a minute away from second stage engine cutoff as we'll see the MVAC-D shut down and get ready for a long coast, getting Europa Clipper into that parking orbit and on its way for the next firing that we will have, the second stage, number 2, to get it into that interplanetary transfer orbit that we need to get Europa Clipper started. So things looking very well this morning. We're about 30 seconds from that stage engine cutoff, which we refer to as SECO 1.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Get into that coast phase. These views brought to you, of course, by ground stations across the track that are pulling in the high-resolution data from the cameras. Burn looking good, just a few seconds away from cutting off from that first burn. And there it goes. The first burn is complete.
Yep, things look really well on the stage burn result. Apogee, perigee, and everything for the mission looks really good. Engine performance, very well performance by the second stage for this first burn. And things continue to look good as we head into this long coast for this parking orbit.
All right.
It's a long coast, and we'll hit that second burn, roughly 3 minutes and 21 seconds long. This one was roughly 3 minutes and 9 seconds. And Mick, you saw the data from it, and it all looked pretty good. And there you go,
Yep,
confirmation.
We're hearing confirmation that we have nominal orbital insertion as we were looking at the telemetry here, Daryl, that things looked very good.
Okay.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 performed very well on that ascent flight. And
how many
we'll
times does
continue
it
to
orbit the
follow
Earth
Stage
before
2 to get ready for that
sling it
second
out?
burn. And then, of course, what we're really looking forward to, Europa Clipper separation.
It's going to be a beautiful moment. If the pictures are as clear as we've seen so far,
Yes.
we will see it in all of its glorious detail. All right. We will continue monitoring the coast phase of the second stage with Europa Clipper, and we will bring that to you. Of course, any updates that we have, we'll check back in with you in a little bit, but for now, let's send it back to the host desk with Megan and Jenny.
Oh, wow. I mean, if you're just joining us, welcome live to Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where we just saw a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket soar off the launch pad with the Europa Clipper spacecraft. I thought, I'm surprised you're here and composed, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you did a good job of keeping me upright watching the launch.
Yeah, how are you feeling? How was it to see that and feel that, too? I mean, that was honestly one of the loudest and most powerful rocket launches that I've personally felt here on the Cape.
It was very emotional in a good way, right? Just kind of overwhelming with just the awe of it, and that it's finally going up into space, and just I feel almost at a loss for words.
Yeah, I know. She was like, I am
Time to
sobbing.
find life, baby. Let's go.
I am sobbing. I am sobbing. I mean, but everybody can understand that, right? I mean, and this is one of my favorite parts of being part of the broadcast, because I do get to watch it with the co-hosts, and really, this is so much of your life that you're seeing culminate in a rocket launch.
It is. It's a huge, again, it's almost indescribable, just the amount of time and effort and all the people involved that got us to here, and to witness that moment is just unlike anything I can describe.
And can you believe it? We are still very much
Amazing
at
job
the
by this
beginning
lady
of
and her
the
team.
spacecraft's journey. It is headed for Jupiter's icy moon Europa, which scientists believe could be the best chance of finding the ingredients for life outside our planet. It will take the spacecraft 5.5 years to travel the nearly 2 billion miles to Europa.
5.5 years,
This is
guys.
a mission developed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California and Johns Hopkins University's Applied Physics Laboratory in Maryland. Now, Jenny, why does the team think that Europa is the best chance of finding those ingredients for life as we know it?
Yeah, on this planet, everywhere we find water, we
guys,
find
I'm
life.
pausing for
and
now.
so, that we think that there's this massive ocean of water underneath the ice on Europa
we'll come back when they,
is just, how could you resist? So we think that Europa has that water. That's one of the key ingredients for life, along with the chemistry and the energy and the time. It's